It's happening.
Let me be your nerd. Let me be your nerd now. I'll say it, baby, 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 baby. What the hell was that?
Welcome, everybody, Friday night to the Grizzled Geek Podcast. I'm Mike.
I'm Doug.
And we're here, episode 86, guys. We are your premier Friday night nerd podcast where we talk about all the nerd stuff that happened this past week. So if you like getting your nerd news a week late, this is it. This is the channel. We're the ones who can do it for you. We can bring it to you.
No one else.
No one else
can do that.
No one else can. Now, if you want, we're going to kick it off. That we can't say that we're not the only ones, because right after us, guys, you need to check out the Absolute Geek Podcast, our brothers from another podcast, which they're actually joining forces with the Couch Crunchers, our other brothers. There's Max. They're at Charlie Tango in the chat. Max, what's going on, man? So I don't know whether they're going to be some kind of weird, absolute couch nerd crunchers. I don't know what they're going to be doing, but it's going to be exciting. So you need to check it out, whatever it is. So that's coming up. I think it's next month when everything kicks off. So be sure to check those guys out. We set you up, and they're going to finish you off. See, just like, tag teaming the nerd stuff. All right. Doug, you look, you have something to say, something relevant, something vital. What is that?
I was just kind of browsing over the stories that we're covering. I'm just like, oh my gosh, some people are stupid.
Looking at the stories, yes, absolutely. Oh, look, Solo Wookiee's in the chat as well. Oh,
started building my Shrine Luminor.
You and your nerd stuff. That's deep nerd stuff right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, Mike. Sorry, we're introduced as Grizzled Geek. Solo Wookiee calling me Grizz all this time. July 9th, Max is there with the knowledge right there. July 9th is when the first Absolute Couch Geek Cruncher super twin power activate podcast is going. It's going live. It's going to be exciting. I'm going to be tuning in for that. I didn't get the invite for the kickoff, so I'll be watching from the sidelines. No, just kidding, guys. I was. Wait, my camera's all messed up. Let me see here. There we go. Yeah, you got to get a good look at it, seeing me. Yeah, absolutely, Charlie Tango. I agree. All right, Doug, we have nerd news. Do you have anything other than showing off your nerd toys we're going to be playing with tomorrow? We're going to go play with Toy Soldiers tomorrow.
Yeah. Imperial Outpost games in Glendale, Arizona, if you're around.
Imperial Outpost, yeah, they were. I will say Imperial Outpost is the greatest game store in the Phoenix area. It's one of the best that I've been to, and I've worked in the gaming community for 15 years and traveled to game stores all over the country, and it is one of the best. We're lucky we have there's good game stores here, right? We have a good thriving gaming community, but it is one of the best I've been to. And they were one of our very first sponsors of the podcast. So they helped buy our initial equipment that we got. Actually, we don't use any of their initial equipment anymore, but we got started because of them. When
we had a studio.
Yeah, when we had a studio.
We're sitting at our own desks. It's
I'm looking around. I'm like, yeah, all that stuff packed up. But back when we had the world famous Grizzled Geek Studio, they helped us get there. There we go, Matt. Watch your mouth. You're talking about. Nice.
Why does it do tricks?
It does, yeah, I was gonna say. I'm like, I watch your mouth all the time.
Mike's mouth might.
It does, and depending, it does for dollars. But
all right, let's hit some stories.
You want to get some stories? You want to jump into the news?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, enough of that messing around. What are we talking about? No one cares about us.
There's some good ones, though.
There are some good ones. So let's start off. We'll talk about Suicide Squad. All right. We got a new trailer. Releases August 6th. Just a reminder, releases in theaters and on HBO Max simultaneously. Right. So we'll get yeah, well, for 31 days. It's going to be on HBO Max for 31 days. That's kind of like their, is this one of those shows?
The amount of time it would be in the theaters?
Exactly. I'm like, well, what do you think, Doug? I know they did this announcement. They didn't know how long we were going to be locked up, so they pretty much the entire slate of WB is going to, HBO Max. Yeah. Is Suicide Squad an HBO Max, or are we going to theaters and seeing it?
Oh, I'm going to the theater to see it. I don't know about you, but I'm going to the theater.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't know why I'm asking. We're going to go. We're
going a month earlier to see Black Widow, so why wouldn't we go see that one in the theater?
Exactly. Theater experience, always better.
Yeah.
Plus I can't get my popcorn at home to taste the same. But anyway, a new trailer just released, and as it was released, we got a whole ton of stories about it here. So we're going to dive into some of these. Apparently, did you know, Doug, that the trailer sparked some controversy over over a line in there about Bloodsport putting Superman in ICU with a kryptonite bullet? That's kind of what he's locked up for. And then later on, James Gunn kind of added that he shot out Superman's spleen, so he's missing a spleen. Now,
nice.
Everyone, first off, you guys got to realize what movie you're watching, right? This is a James Gunn movie, all right? So people are like, wait, was that Henry Cavill Superman? Which Superman did he put? That's weird. Why is he in the ICU? He's blah blah blah. And I'm like, come on, it's just funny. Oh my goodness, look who it is. Corbin showing up.
Nice.
Corbin, good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, I'm all.
Yeah, my spleen. So yeah, in James Gunn canon, Superman is missing his spleen because of a kryptonite bullet. But Gunn also came out and debunked the rumor that there was a rumor going around by some reputable sources. Right, I was surprised. Some big sources actually repeated this rumor that there was going to be an end credit scene which would featured a recast Superman. Right, so Gunn debunked those rumors. Now, does that mean that it's a Henry Cavill Superman, or that he debunked the whole thing? He wasn't really clear on it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So yeah, I mean, Gunn came out, and this is like we got a month ago, but the hype is getting picked up. The trailer. Did you watch the trailer? Right?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
God.
It was
once again freaking John Cena steals the show.
Yeah,
with one line.
Yes,
with one line, he freaking steals the show.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait.
Awesome.
This is gonna be great. I love it. It's everything that I want a Suicide Squad movie to be. But you know how fans are. They pick apart trailers, right? They see trailer comes out, they start nitpicking and seeing all the crazy stuff in it. So fans have noticed that Harley Quinn is missing her rotten tattoo on her face that she had, like on her cheek. I guess she had rotten from the tatted up Harley Quinn from the first. So people are like, well, what's going on? Did she have she have removed? What's going on story wise? So James Gunn also came out and said that they're not going to address that story wise. And the reason why is because Margot Robbie came up and said, I don't like the rotten tattoo. And he's all like, you know what? I don't like the rotten tattoo either. So they just got rid of it. Just like that. Fair enough. No one should care.
Yeah.
I mean, really. Because the Joker was less in the Snyderverse was less tatted up as well. Apparently, tattoo removal, or before the first Suicide Squad movie, everybody got a big package of the temporary tattoos.
Yeah,
and went crazy, right? They had a big temporary tattoo party, and now that's all gone. So all those tattoos are gone. So, but the little things like that, can you believe people are making a big deal out of one throwaway line about Superman getting shot with a kryptonite bullet?
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And Margot and not having the rotten tattoo and no explanation. They want an explanation. There's got to be a line in the movie explaining why she doesn't have a rotten tattoo. Because it was dumb. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. What's your take on that?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Both of these are just dumb controversy. There's no. Just let it go. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's just a funny,
There's no way they're going to like officially tie this in with any, the DCU.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. If it were like Deadpool, I would expect them to address it straight to the audience. This isn't Deadpool. It's, freaking just you might as well think of this as a totally separate movie. I think they're continuing, like it looks like that Harley Quinn and
got Amanda Waller. They got Flag.
I think Flag and Harley Quinn recognize each other. They know each other, so it's a continuation in that sense. But it also isn't really. It's like a reboot sequel, almost. But whatever. It doesn't freaking matter. What was hilarious about the trailer is for like the first 10, 15 seconds of it, I was thinking Idris Elba was his Hobbs and Shaw character.
Black Superman.
I totally forgot that he was freaking Deadshot. I was like, wait, what's going on? Are they introducing the bad guy right here this way? Oh, wait, no, wrong character.
Wrong character, yeah.
He looked dressed very similar. So I was like, all right, way to make your characters look exactly the same.
So you're a bigger DC expert than I am, Doug. What's the difference between Deadshot and was it Bloodsport? So Idris Elba's Bloodsport in this movie, and in the last movie, Will Smith was Deadshot.
Oh, is he Bloodsport? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is there a big difference in the comics? Or are they just like? Because to me,
honestly, I don't know who Bloodsport is.
Deadshot ripoff, I guess.
Yeah.
This is the guy they substituted in when they can't get Will Smith back. Like we need to change character. That's a similar one.
Oh gosh, he's
Bloodsport.
Yeah, looks like I don't know, like he's some kind of like
D-list DC.
Yeah, D-list super. Like he's a super powered freaking mercenary or something like that. He looks dumb. The costume they show on the wiki pages looks dumb.
Idris Elba looks way better than he actually does in the comics. DC managed to rip themselves off. Yes, but I will say there was one controversy that was it was weird. They had a disastrous launch to this trailer. I don't know if you heard about this, but they launched the trailer as a YouTube ad, like it was playing before other YouTube videos, right?
Oh, okay.
So it was a YouTube ad, and then fans are like, "Oh, what is this? This is a new trailer," and so they started sharing it, right? Okay, this is one of the goofiest gimmicks ever, right? That they try to do for a launch trailer. They put it out as an ad. People caught on to it, started sharing it, and then they hit everybody with a copyright strike who was sharing it. Like your fans are trying to get the word out for your movie.
Yeah, there you go.
You got hit with a copyright strike because of your goofy way you set it up. But within hours, they fixed it and they put the HD version out, the actual version.
Okay, so instead of releasing this for free on your own YouTube channel, you paid money to have it put in front of other videos.
And then copyright struck people who shared it.
Yeah. I mean,
who can share your normal one?
Yeah. Do one of the 6-second ones that says "new trailer, go here" kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it was
fire whoever you hired for that promotional campaign.
Yeah, I think we'll circle back to Charlie Tango's statement here.
Yeah, that smacks of an executive hiring their kid's advertising firm. and it going that well, as well as you would expect.
Nice. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
DC execs our Warner Brothers execs are the worst.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I agree. Most DC is kind of gone off the rails here, but I look forward to some things that are good. Like I'm looking forward to this. This is Suicide Squad because this is almost like a outside. This is like what Deadpool is to the Marvel universe, right? It's kind of like outside. This is going to be a comedy, right? It kind of loosely connected. They're not going to make any big connections. There's not going to be a Henry Cavill cameo. There's not going to be, it's going to be loosely connected, and it's James Gunn, and they're just going to have fun. I'm looking forward to this. I'm also looking forward to Shazam: Fury of the Gods because the first Shazam movie was good.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. And then I'm also looking forward to Black Adam, and we're going to talk a little bit later about Black Adam. But so I'm looking forward to those. Sadly, I'm looking forward to all these side characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Green Lantern Corps, Sweet Tooth are the only hope at this point. The TV shows, yeah. I mean, the Netflix series and then the Green Lantern series that's coming to HBO Max. Charlie Tango. I don't know. His trailer looks funny. I like James Gunn. I like his humor. I've liked him all the way back since Tromeo and Juliet from the old Troma days. So I'm down for that. I'll check it out. But here's a hot take right here. Solo Wookie liked the first Suicide Squad movie. Hey man, that had a lot of potential, and I think if David Ayers would have got his cut of the movie and they didn't have a studio interference, if they'd have made Joker the bad guy like they should have from the very beginning, I think it would have been the
whole end fight sucked. The getting there wasn't that bad. And a lot of the lead up and the build up, it was overdrawn, but
the coolest character development
horrible.
They killed off the
fire dude, El Diablo
I forget his name. Or Charlie Tango, he saw fire tonight in the comments.
Poor Cara Delevingne. There's Cara Delevingne.
She's got amazing eyebrows. All right. Let's move on to another potential. This was actually, I'm actually excited about Suicide Squad. Transformers 7. Now, if you told me that I thought they were done with the Transformers series. You told me they're making a 7th movie. I would have been like, come on, why? But they're appealing to all you 90s kids out there because they finally got the official title. It is Transformers Rise of the Beasts. And yes, it will in fact include the Maximals, the Predacons, and the Terrorcons from Beast Wars. So too bad Ben's not here in the chat tonight because Ben was a huge Beast Wars fan. And actually, because of that, I had to watch a lot of the Beast Wars cartoons. But some of it was pretty good. Solo. Yeah. Hey, Corbin out there to do it. So the film was going to take place in 1994. So it's not going to overlap with the previous films, right? Although Bumblebee the end of Bumblebee is going to kind of lead into this because Bumblebee was in the 80s. So they've kind of gone back in time. Now, there's a couple things I like about this and a couple things I'm kind of worried about, and we're going to go through them right now because that's what we're doing. So Optimus Prime will be the lead robot hero of the film, this time sporting an absolutely awesome Gen 1 design. And if you guys, spoilers for Bumblebee, if you haven't seen a 3-year-old movie, they had Optimus Prime in his Gen 1 design on a communication. And you're like, oh my goodness, it's Optimus Prime in what he's supposed to look like, right? And then Peter Cullen is also back. They also said Peter Cullen will be the voice of Optimus Prime until he doesn't want to be. They're not going to replace Peter Cullen because you can't.
Yeah.
He's the voice of Optimus Prime. Bumblebee will be back, although he's going to be a new vehicle design. That's kind of an off-road Camaro variant of his usual look. so he's not going to be the Bug anymore, which he was in Bumblebee.
Yeah, and why wouldn't you be that? Because that's what he was when what's his name found him.
I agree.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, they want to go back to Camaro. It also picks up several years after the events of his movie. Like I said, in the ending will feed directly into it. The roster is also going to feature Mirage, who transforms into a Porsche 911, and a pair of new female characters, RC. So we're going to get RC, although we got to see her briefly in the beginning of Bumblebee. Was the best intro. And Bumblebee movie had the amazing intro where they're leaving Cybertron, where they escape Cybertron,
right.
And they actually had Optimus Prime doing some awesome moves, and he also had RC was in there. So now we're going to see RC. Oh, she got some lines, and she's going to be a Ducati 916 and a Terracon Nightbird who has switched allegiances and transforms into a black and purple Nissan GTR. The Beasts the Beasts from Beast Wars are going to be we know for a fact Arizor, who's a Falcon, Rhinoceros, and Optimus Primal, who's a gorilla. Now, here's my thing, because I know this about Beast Wars. If any of you guys didn't watch that, all you 90s kids. Amy, I agree 100%. Changing Bumblebee won't make him Bumblebee we all love. I agree. That's what we liked about the Bumblebee movie. He was the Bumblebee he was supposed to be. And now they're going to change him back to a Camaro. So, but here's the thing. The Beasts in Beast Wars were the Transformers. Like Optimus Primal is Optimus Prime.
Right.
So the story was he went back, whatever, they got frozen, and they took on this the form of any of the animals around or whatever, because they scan the animals. That's where they were, and then they find the Ark that they got launched in originally from the 80s. The whole storyline kind of connects everything, right? But so are they going to have the fact they're going to have Optimus Primal and Optimus Prime as himself, as his Gen 1 self in there, makes no sense to all you 90s kids who watch the Beast Wars, because they're the same person. Right? So we'll see how they play that.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Beast Wars fan. I like Gen 1 Transformers. I was hoping the end of Bumblebee got me excited for a full Gen 1 cast of Transformers, and we're getting Beast Wars instead. Although Optimus Prime will look like his red, semi-truck. So Gen 1 designs. So at least we'll have that. I just wish we could have that and Bumblebee as the Bug. Still more believable than driving than the F9. Oh my God, F9 is getting trashed. In fact, check out Absolute Geek Podcast tonight after the show, because Matt's going to go his review of F9. So yeah, from what I'm not into the. I dropped out of the Fast and Furious like around 5. Like after 5, I was like, okay, they've reached the max that I can actually accept as reality, right? And then after that, like each one after that just defied more and more physics, to the point where I guess this last one, F9, is just ridiculous. So, I'm not going to see it. So if you want a review of it, check out Absolute Geek Podcast after us. But yeah, I mean, what is your opinion on this Transformers movie, Doug? I mean,
I can proudly say I've only seen 2 Transformers movies, so I obviously will not see this. And I hated the very concept of Beast Wars, so that holds nothing for me. The only thing I'm like, oh, cool, RC, an actual Transformers movie character. That's cool. But other than that, I'm like, I could care less.
Yeah. No, I agree. Well, there's no Michael Bay this time, at least, right? And Bumblebee was a good movie. So I hate to say it, I'm going to see this movie. Just my childhood will let me not see it, right? Yeah. You've seen a few, but one will always be your favorite. Yep, I agree.
I mean, yeah, the first one was fun.
Yeah.
It was like, it didn't try to take itself too seriously. You got to see all the characters in these kind of like quasi realistic forms, and you're like, okay, that's kind of cool. And then they just kept going. You're like, what is going on? Why do you keep doing this?
Why are you doing this?
More explosions doesn't make better.
All right, Solo. Okay, I'm coming back to your comment here because you're like make some new stuff: Mask, Gargoyles, Thundercats, Herculoids. I agree with all that except for Thundercats. Like, I think we had this discussion last week, Doug, about Thundercats. I mean, Thundercats live action is something I was like, growing up, I'm like, man, that would be the ultimate. When you keep talking about, they've teased it several times, and I'm like, I want to see that. And then I start to think about it, and I'm like, all right, just imagine that movie Cats with like swords.
Yeah, I would be.
And I'm like, maybe I don't want live action Thundercats.
I would be fine with any of these listed here as an animated movie. I don't want any of them live. I think that is an awful idea. No, it's an awful idea.
Ooh, come on, Gargoyles.
They will totally butcher that. They will screw it up, and it will not be good. It will not be good.
I don't ever be
They have the technology to do it, but they'll do something stupid like they did with the turtles or something. They'll totally change what the gargoyles look like, and it'll be dumb. Right. Don't stop screwing with 80s and 90s cartoons. Stop
screwing with our childhood.
Yeah.
Mask, I would love to see it, but I'm like one of like a handful that would even know what that is.
Yeah. Well, again, most of those concepts were pretty dumb to be. I mean, honestly, the one I think would most translate into live action, and I don't think it would be great, is Jason the Wheeled Warriors.
Oh, yeah.
Because then, it was spaceships and it was cars with extra little gadgets and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, you could do those, and they aren't ridiculous. Like,
Amy, if Kirsten was here, she'd agree with you 100%. Same reason anime movies end up bad. Kirsten hates when they make a live action anime movie. She cringes. Like, no, don't screw it up. I don't know. Solo Wookiee's fighting for it. The Dark Demon Thundercats, they're massive. I would love to see it. I'd love to see Mum-Ra live action. I'd love to see the mutants. I'm just picturing cats in armor with swords, and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. Oh yeah, see, Charlie Tang's with me. He wants to see Gargoyles with the right director, right? Of course, it'd have to be, it'd have to stay true to what And Charlie Tango, Mask Love, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Of course, I had my toys. I put the GI Joes on those vehicles. The best vehicles. But anyway, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I as much I've wanted a Thundercats movie all my life. Same reason I've given up on a He-Man movie. He-Man live action. He-Man was my thing when I was a kid, right? I loved He-Man. I loved the fact that I love the '80s movie with Dolph Lundgren, right? I'm a Dolph Lundgren Master Universe apologist my entire life. That movie's great. Solo does have a point.
Yeah. Okay. It has made billions over the course of 40 some odd years or something. So that's not really.
Thinking about the Cats and Dog movie. Oh, yeah. The more I picture it, I'm like, no, I can't. Leave Thundercats as animated. Yeah, don't wreck that for me, please. All right. So let's move on to away from our main stories, right, to our smaller stories, our Nerd Nugget time, guys. These are our smaller stories. I'll kick it off here with Spider-Man: No Way Home. Everyone's waiting anxiously for the first trailer. And it was revealed this week that Sony, although Sony's in charge of the marketing for Spider-Man No Way Home, they've tasked Marvel's Kevin Feige is working closely with the marketing team and advising. He's advising, although if what they say is true, he's doing a little more than advising because he kicked back that first trailer to be re-edited, which sounds like a little more than an advising side of it. He's like, no, that trailer's not ready. Fix it. And he wants the trailer ready for, they're saying, for Black Widow.
That'd be cool.
So yeah. So hopefully, whatever they're doing, look at that.
It's very surprising because we've had plenty of Shang-Chi, we've had plenty of Eternals, not a peep from Spider-Man.
It's because Marvel's not putting that trailer together. Sony is. And Kevin Feige is advising, and he's like, all right, look.
You can't show that yet.
You can't show that. You can't give it away in the trailers, all right? Let's look at the Eternals. The Eternals trailer didn't tell us anything about that movie. Just could introduce the concept and showed us the characters and got us intrigued. Yeah, but we have no idea what's going on in that movie.
And it did its job. It was one of those where I was very skeptical of Eternals. I didn't really care about them in the comics, and I was like, all right, whatever. But then I've seen a couple of trailers, and I'm like, all right, that actually looks pretty cool. And it makes you invest. You're like, how are they connected? Why weren't they around? What's going on?
Yeah.
So
it's cool. We're gonna get all that. So yeah, I'm excited for Spider-Man trailer. All right. In I told you so news. Go ahead, Doug, with our next one.
Indiana Jones 5-star Harrison Ford suffers shoulder injury while rehearsing fight scene. It sounds like director James Mangold intends to film around Ford until the extent of his injury can be determined. But if it turns out that the 78-year-old actor is required to take some time off to recover, it could obviously end up having a significant impact on the shoot.
Yeah. So, 70-year-old man throws his shoulder out practicing for
a fight.
Shocking. Shocking that they probably shouldn't have a 78-year-old man in an action movie. And doesn't he get hurt on like everything? He got hurt on Blade Runner when he came back for that. He got hurt his foot on Star Wars when he came back from Star Wars, and now he's coming back for Indiana Jones, and he throws his shoulder out practicing for a fight. So let the old man rest. All right, he's done his bit for King and Country, right? He
signed on. So
like, come on.
I don't know if he feels like he needs more money or he would just be bored not doing it.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with this, but I'm like, it's just the whole idea of him coming back. I'm like, let's just wheeling him around in a wheelchair. I mean, I'm not trying to be ageist here, but he's 78 years old. Yeah. He's great. He's charismatic. He's an amazing actor. He should not be throwing punches and doing flips in a action movie. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I would. Well, there's a lot of things I wish. I wish they would reboot Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
With Harrison Ford narrating the first episode where we see a younger person taking over as him and playing
Chris Pratt playing Indiana Jones.
In other stuff that we never saw him do before.
Yeah.
I think that'd be great.
Here's Charlie Tango with the water is wet headline. Yeah. I mean,
if you're that desperate to keep hold of Indiana Jones, I don't see a problem rebooting this at this point. Yeah. I think it would be fine. It's one of those films that it almost cries out for it. The genre cries out for just bring a new actor in to play the character. It's it's like this never-ending serialization of the 30s action hero. So
the pulp hero.
I generally don't. I'm like, all right, that we're done with that. Just stop making movies of this. But this is one of those. I think it is totally. Sorry, I got distracted by that. Very good. So that was awesome.
That's right. He's gonna be fine. Yeah, get him out there.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next story.
I'm just picturing Indiana Jones 5 like the old Star Trek fight scenes where you got William Shatner coming in, throwing a punch at the camera, and then it switches to a dude in a wig rolling around like you could totally tell it's some other dude. doing the actual fight scene, and then the next scene it shows Shatner fall on the ground with his shirt ripped. I just what I'm picturing. All right. So our Couch Cruncher buddies will be I hope they're here for this story. Talk about Supernatural, guys. I know it's one of your favorite shows. So Supernatural prequel series, The Winchesters, in the works with Jensen Ackles set to produce and narrate. Setting up so it's gonna be like the prequel, earlier days. But unfortunately, no one told Jared Padalecki, the actor who plays Sam Winchester in the CW series. So after congratulating his old co-star, he revealed the first time he heard the news on Twitter, he admitted to being bummed that Sam Winchester has no involvement in it whatsoever. So one of them is like
prequel.
Yeah, but they're brothers, and you figure, I don't know. I guess unless it's Jensen Ackles just narrating, that's his only involvement in it, right?
Yeah.
So they got younger actors playing him, and he's only narrating. Still, you figure they'd get the other brother involved in it some way, but
yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not a huge. I've watched plenty of Supernatural, but it's like I don't know how many seasons it went. And the story got kind of convoluted, and you get behind in a series, and then like all kinds of crazy stuff's going on. You don't even recognize what's going on anymore, and you're like, okay,
yeah, I can't keep up.
isn't that person dead? Okay, what? All right, so what's going on? So, yeah, I haven't kept up with the series, but I just think it's a bummer that they, both actors aren't involved, but maybe there's a good reason for it.
Yeah.
All right.
We found out that actress turned director Olivia Wilde will helm a Spider-Woman movie for Sony Pictures late last year, and it's now been confirmed that the story will focus on Jessica Drew, the original Spider-Woman. So cool.
Yeah. Yes.
That's way not cool. Sure if the studio has met with anyone for the role yet, but they are said to be seeking an actress between 25 and 35 to star.
Yeah. So there was rumors that it was going to be a new Spider-Woman, but now we're getting confirmation that it is Jessica Drew. So that's cool.
It's cool, but there's one problem with it. You should have given Sony? Okay, two problems with it. Because she's not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to explore she was a SHIELD agent.
Yeah.
Story. So
that's true.
So otherwise, because that was kind of like that was one of the best stories for her was the whole.
Yeah.
She was a SHIELD agent, but then she got I forget how she got turned or whatever or blackmailed into working for Hydra and then turned back. That whole kind of.
Then a redemption and the whole bit. Yeah. She's an amazing character. I love her, and I think this is the first Sony Spider-Verse movie that I'm actually excited about.
And the other problem is she's freaking Captain Marvel's pal, so you can't have them palling around.
True. But they might be able to use. They could make her part of a government organization. Just don't mention the name. But also the deal was that they could use some Marvel bits in the movie, right?
Yeah.
As long as it's not direct, like maybe in the background, if they just kind of mention. Yes, Amy, I agree 100%. Spider-Gwen would be awesome too. So
she was super cool in the
Spider-Verse
multiverse, or the Spider-Verse.
Absolutely, and they're working on a Silk series. Now we're getting a Jessica Drew Spider-Woman movie. I'm like, what are they saying? They're like Miles Morales and Spider-Gwen for some reason. Two of those popular ones, they're still not utilizing.
Super obvious choices. And
you're like, what are you doing?
What's going on here?
Yeah. I don't know. Yes, absolutely, Corbin. They have the assets. Why they're fighting over Peter Parker when Marvel's clearly done the job with Peter Parker. They have Miles Morales as Spider-Gwen.
To be technical, Miles Morales is canon in the MCU because Avengers Campus is, he's pseudo-canon
Yeah.
And he did the graffiti on the walls in Avengers Campus. It's signed Miles.
Yeah.
So they've already tied him into it. So
yeah. So I mean, and Sony could use him for their Spider-Verse, and I'd be perfectly happy with that. Then I would actually be excited about stuff like Morbius and Kraven and whatever. But
hopefully, one of these, like Silk or Spider-Woman or something, will kind of start bringing maybe introduce Miles or something. Who knows?
Yeah. I hope we get it all. I'm super excited about that. I mean, if they're going to keep the Spider-Verse, I'd like to see all these characters. I'm glad they're starting off with Jessica Drew, though. So, original Spider-Woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree. I mean, it's Peter Parker. You can't.
Yeah.
I mean, but Miles Morales is awesome. He's an awesome character. But the great thing about that is they're two totally different characters, right? It's not like.
Yeah.
It's not like, I don't know. I don't want to make any comparisons because people get upset, but with some of these, the legacy characters, but there are some legacy characters that are just straight ripoffs of the character they're taking over for, right? As where Miles Morales is his own character, and he's a good one, and he deserves, his own movies or to be included in this, right?
If it weren't for the groundwork they've already laid, I would say give Sony Peter Parker and Marvel take freaking Miles Morales. That would be awesome. Except for they've already kind of set Spider-Man up to in that kind of Iron Man role, to kind of one would hope step into maybe the Young Avengers.
There is a rumor out of the many, many multiverse rumors that they're going to switch, whereas at the end of the Multiverse of Madness, Spider-Man's going to be Sony character and Miles Morales will be in the MCU.
I would not complain about that.
Yeah.
Even though I like the way they've set up Peter as a kind of an heir to Tony Stark, I would not be upset if they did the switch.
Yeah.
Especially since Miles would fit better on a Young Avengers team than Peter might.
Yeah.
I mean, he's young too, but
but he's seen some shit.
But yeah,
he's not as fresh faced as he was before after getting dusted by Thanos and doing all the stuff he did. But yeah, so he's got a good point here. They're building up a female Spider-Verse type movie, right?
Yeah,
Drew, Gwen, Stoke. That would be I'm telling you, I like these characters. So
do it organically. Don't just shove it in people's faces. Yeah,
don't rush it like DC did their universe, right?
Yeah. Well, and don't do a female spider team just so you can say I did a female spider team. Do it because you've explored all the characters and they're cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Which that's cool that they're doing a Spider-Woman one. Then we're gonna get Silk, and they're not going, look, it's a big team up of the girls. It's like, no, they're each getting developed on their own. Then hopefully that will lead somewhere.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. So Sony Spider-Verse is actually starting to get exciting now, and not just a series of B-list bad guy movies. All right, so let's talk about the Shang-Chi trailer, Doug.
All right.
Shang-Chi trailer, it looks amazing. Every time I see them, the more and more I see them use the 10 rings, see them in action, the more I'm excited the way they changed it. Right?
Yeah, so because it makes it look like a martial arts kind of weapon, even though there's never a martial arts weapon like that. It still looks cool like that.
And the way they move with it and use it, it looks, like it belongs the martial arts. The fact that they're armbands now instead of actual rings, I like the change. I think it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. Hang on, Amy's got a point here. 2099 Spider-Man. See, I don't know, man. I think people either love or hate 2099 Spider-Man. He was the best thing to come out of that whole 2099 universe. And then when they added him into the regular one, it actually made sense with what they did. But I would not be upset by it.
I wouldn't put that in the Batman Beyond category. Like Batman Beyond was amazing. Spider-Man 2099 was good. Good.
Good in a sea of shit. So
kind of
because every 2099 was awful.
Yeah.
All right. So Shang-Chi trailer, I would say I was already down for it. This latest trailer was amazing. We got to see the underwater dragon. We were actually seeing some of that mystical.
I don't care what they're
stuff.
calling it. That is Fin Fang Foom. They just didn't want to use these. They just probably, for the same reason they're not calling him the Mandarin, they're not calling him Fin Fang Foom. It's just, it is Fin Fang Foom with a different name.
That's what I'm gonna. That's what I'm thinking.
Headcanon.
Just in my head canon. In my head, I'm just gonna picture purple shorts on him, whatever he looks like. But the biggest thing was the surprising tie-in with the MCU. I mean, we know it's all MCU connected, but we have some connective tissue that we haven't seen in a while that we knew was coming, but in She-Hulk series, but we had no idea it was going to be Shang-Chi was the Abomination. He's doing a cage match with the Abomination from the Hulk movie, from the Incredible Hulk movie in the back. So I had to go back and check it. I'm like, what is that? First off, I had the same thought you did, Doug. Is that Fin Fang Foom going to redesigned? And then I went back and watched again. I'm like, oh, he's got spikes on his back. Wait a minute. Then I turned on closed captions, and of course,
I was totally referring to the underwater dragon, not the guy in the ring.
Oh, got it.
I thought the guy in the ring, I was like, oh, they have like a Killer Croc kind of guy. I was like, oh, Abomination, that's cool. So they are going total, they have redesigned Shang-Chi. He is not Shang-Chi from the MCU, because in the MCU, Shang-Chi has zero special abilities. He is just the world's greatest martial artist. That's it.
He's the guy.
But here he is.
Power Fist. Or not Power Fist, Danny Rand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, he's like, yeah. But now he's got, because he's connected with the 10 rings, he's got abilities, right? But I guess he inherited. But I like the change. I like the Mandarin change, because we still get that flashback moment of the Mandarin. This is the Mandarin. This movie's going to make up all the way back for Iron Man 2 or Iron Man 3.
Yeah, I mean, you still get he leads this international organization of mercenaries and assassins and stuff, and he's personally powerful with the rings, So I'm fine with what they're doing with the Mandarin. That's cool.
Yeah, these are, to be honest with you,
this is after Black Widow. This is the one I'm most excited about.
Yeah,
even more than Spider-Man.
When I first heard the lineup, I was like, Shang-Chi and Eternals. I'm like, all right. I mean, I'm going to watch them. They're Marvel movies, but I was like, but now these trailers, I'm like super excited to see both of them.
Yeah.
So, all right, Doug, let's jump into some Black Adam news. What do we got here?
We found out that Pierce Brosnan, James Bond, Mrs. Doubtfire, had nabbed the role of Kent Nelson, a.k.a. Dr. Fate, in New Line's upcoming Black Adam movie back in March. And the actor has now spoken for the first time about joining the cast of DC Comics Adventure. And this is a quote: "I do have to put the motion capture suit on, which is an acting challenge in itself, but luckily I was brought up in the theater, so I know how to get into tights." Brosnan joins fellow Justice Society members Cyclone, which will be Quintessa Swindell, Atom Smasher, Noah Centineo, and Hawkman, Aldous Hodge, along with Dwayne The Rock Johnson as the titular anti-hero, and Sarah Shahi as Adriana Tomaz, a.k.a. Isis.
Yeah. So we're getting like the full-on Justice Society. Dr. Fate, I've always wanted Dr. Fate. The fact that Pierce Brosnan is playing Dr. Fate is awesome.
That is cool.
He's an awesome actor. And what interests me is the fact that he's mocap, right?
Oh, yeah. He would have to be.
Really? I guess the flowing cape, I guess, and all the mystic.
He's got the helmet on. He's like built like Superman. So I'm assuming they're going to probably bulk him up. The cape will be continually moving.
Yeah.
The mask. The mask.
Just to add that extra bit of mystic look to him. Have him as a cape constantly fluttering.
Dr. Fate is one of my favorite freaking DC characters. He's freaking cool.
Yes, Dr. Fate is awesome. He was on my my team when we had the DC draft over at Absolute Geek Podcast. We did that. He was like, I got Dr. Fate on my team. Yeah, he's awesome. I mean, come on. The Rock playing Black Adam meant we were going to watch this movie regardless. But are you more excited about it now than you were?
Yeah, probably, because I'm more excited now because while I didn't doubt that The Rock would sign up for something that was never going to happen, it felt really far away. Now it feels like real and it's coming soon kind of thing. And I'm really curious as I'm assuming they're going to have to play him as the bad guy.
The anti-hero. I mean, yeah, probably. I mean,
he goes back and forth in the comics, but he's usually a bad guy, mostly because he's like freaking. He's basically if the Punisher had Superman's powers, in a lot of sense. So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm like, he's kind of definitely anti-hero.
If you combined the Punisher and Doctor Doom and they had Superman's powers.
Then we got Black Adam.
Then you have Black Adam.
Yeah.
So
Corbin remembers that episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast. We did a draft. Corbin drafted all Batman family, right? Regardless of power level. He's like, all right, yeah, I'll take another Robin. I'm like, I don't think your team's gonna win, but all right, you know. I congratulate you on your persistence and staying in the family.
At least get like Zatanna. She's adjacent.
Yeah, get some power in there somewhere.
Man. But all right, let's go ahead and go to your next. Oh gosh!
All right. So,
did we not talk about this last week?
We did. We talked about the fact that Zack Snyder put this out. So last week, obviously, the whole Batman Catwoman, oral sex controversy came up. We didn't cover it too much detail. We saved that for Absolute Geek Podcast, but we did mention the fact that he put out a not safe for work piece of artwork featuring, what they said he was, and basically said canon, right? This is this is what happens. And Warner Brothers has stepped in to remove it from Twitter, right? So Snyder was forced to remove the image when he was hit with a copyright claim from Warner Brothers. So Warner Brothers struck that down. Apparently not canon, according to Warner Brothers. So, I just thought that was funny that Zack Snyder, he's like, oh, yeah, check this out. And Warner Brothers came in and slapped his hand. No. But yeah, just a little update from last week's story.
That's funny.
All right. Doug.
This is interesting. Scarlett Johansson is reportedly both headlining and producing Disney's Tower of Terror movie. Disney is reportedly shaping the project to be a starring vehicle for Johansson. So interesting because they didn't mention here it's Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. So is this going to be a Twilight Zone movie? Or is it going to just feel like that? But the idea of her...
There was a movie, a Tower of Terror, or a TV movie. I think it was a TV movie. But it was a ghost story, that one. But it was kind of based on a Tower of Terror.
Yeah, but that the idea of her as like a 20s Hollywood celebrity, like bombshell kind of thing, and getting stuck in this hotel and the whole Twilight Zone-y kind of thing, that could be cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. And out of all Disney and their quest to have all their rides as movies, So what do we had? We had Pirates of the Caribbean, obviously. We had the Haunted Mansion. Yeah. We've had Jungle Cruise is coming up.
Looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks good. It actually looks good. And then now we're going to the Tower of Terror, right? So I'm just waiting for my Matterhorn movie with the abominable snowman. So yes. This seems to be a theme here.
Space Mountain. Dear Warner Brothers, stop.
Yeah, the Jungle Cruise is coming up. Charlie Tango, that's going to be. We're excited about that. But yeah, all right. I'm down. Scarlett Johansson, Tower of Terror. I'm there. I'll watch it.
I think it'll work.
Yep. All right, so let's talk about gaming news here. So I'm talking about board games in this one. So on almost the 25th anniversary of the cheap-ass game classic Kill Dr. Lucky, they're releasing a 24 3/4 anniversary deluxe edition this month. In partnership with Greater Than Games. This is going to be, now Cheap-Ass Games, for those of you who don't know, was an amazing company. All their games came in basically just white, like
paper envelopes. All the cards for the games were just basically photocopied and cut on a paper cutter in there, right? It was just, that is cheap-ass games, but you can get them for like $1, right? And some of those games were really amazing. And one of the best ones was Kill Dr. Lucky. And Kill Dr. Lucky is a game that is reverse Clue. Okay? So instead of trying to solve the murder, you're trying to commit the murder. But you got this house and all these murder objects, and he goes around the house, and you got to get to a point where no one's watching and get a murder weapon and try and kill him without being discovered. And it's a super fun game. And this edition of it is 24 3/4. It's the almost 25th anniversary edition. If they didn't want to wait the extra, 6 months or the extra 4 months to release a 25th anniversary edition, they want to release it now. So that 24 3/4, 3 months. My math. There's 12 months in a year. But this is instead of like a cheap ass game that came in like an envelope, it's actually a box set with with little pieces and all the game stuff and a great deluxe game board. And this edition is packed with all the naturally doing players have come to expect, along with some new wrinkles, including a cat and a dog. So now you have a cat and a dog witness that you got to avoid. And the game's for 3 to 8 players, ages 12 up, plays in about 45 minutes, and is an MSRP of $39.95, which I've already looked around because I want a copy of this game, and you can get it for around $30 almost anywhere. So it is an amazing game if you're into board games, you like that kind of thing. It's reverse Clue. I want a Parts Unknown.
Parts Unknown is another great cheap-ass game. Yeah, there's so many great cheap-ass games. Unexploded Cow. There's like all these good. They, like I said, they came in little. They were super cheap. For $1, you get a cool game. So I mean, I want this. I want this deluxe edition. $30. Done.
Very cool.
Solo Wookiee. Duck Dodgers in the 24th and 3/4 century. Yeah. So yeah, Kill Dr. Lucky 24 3/4 anniversary deluxe edition out this month. Could pretty much find it anywhere for $30. All right, Doug, you got anything else going on?
I do not.
I love that the announcement voice. I don't.
No. I'm trying to think. I mean, like I didn't really do much today other than work on building that thing for our game tomorrow. So
yeah. All right, guys. Again, if you're in the Phoenix area, you're in the games. We're going to be tomorrow morning. We're going to be over at the Imperial Outpost in Glendale. It is in the Arizona's #1 game store. Be sure to check it out. And do all the normal things, guys. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. We're going to be back again next week, guys, with another wrap up of your weekly nerd news, your Week in Geek. So if you want to just don't read Twitter or Facebook or anything else, we'll tell you the geek news. Just wait for us on Friday. Watch us on YouTube. Also want to thank all you guys out there listening in your podcast land. So people, we finally got our Libsyn to sync up now, so the podcasts are actually getting out there. So people are asking, where have we been? Yeah, Corbin's all really kept Corbin in suspense, Doug. You thought you had something really important to say.
I have not. Nope, nothing.
Yes. So, guys, check us out. We're going to be back. This was like back on track for our weekly Friday roundup of nerd news. Also, check out our Loki reactions as they come up here, guys. So we're reacting to Loki. Watching that. So want to watch that with us, check those out. If you want to watch the uncut versions, be sure to check out our Patreon page. and support us on the links down below. Our Amazon affiliate link. So you got to buy stuff. We got a kickback. Doesn't cost you anything extra. So think of us when you're doing your Amazon shopping with that link down below. Also, you can buy our merch at our merch store if you want to have a Grizzled Geek, or I'm a Grizzled Geek, or I like my Geeks Grizzled shirt, or masks, or anything else. Although we're not wearing masks a whole lot anymore, but sales on the masks kind of tapered off, but that's okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week. I appreciate everybody in the chat today. We had a lively chat. So you guys were awesome. Where's the store? The store Imperial Outpost is on Thunderbird and between 51st and
between 54th, and 43rd. It's right across the street from ASU West.
Yeah. So right
behind an Arby's.
Yep, behind an Arby's. All right, guys. Yeah. Good night, Amy. Thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you guys again next week.
Bye.
Later, guys.